It is your Classic Metal Show right here, but on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That's brand new. Tommy Paris from the Tommy Paris Band. And guess what, Chris?
Yes?
Voicemail.
Are you kidding?
No.
Fuck, let me tweet him.
You're going to tweet him?
That's how we've been communicating.
On the tweeter?
Yeah.
I left a voicemail. I said, hey, man, it's time for an interview. Let's go.
Let me see. Hey, dude. Where you at? Where you at? Question mark. What number? The 800?
Either that or, yeah, the 800 number. 800-497-5891.
All right. Sent.
All right.
Damn it, Tommy.
Yeah. You ever notice that? These guys, we let these guys know just hours ahead. Say, hey, we're going to do this. Yep, let's do it. I'll be waiting for the call.
In fact, he messaged me 12:09 p.m. So 9 hours ago. And he said, tonight's still good to call in? And I said, sure, man, 10 p.m. Eastern. Give me a number and we will call you. He said, good, gave me the number. And voicemail.
Ta-da!
The aristocrats.
All right. Well, until Tommy calls, I guess I could get into the day's adventure from yesterday.
All right.
And so who knows when he'll get our messages.
Yeah.
So anyway, I decided to go out to N Lima.
Yep.
And I was only going to go for the day, which I did.
Okay.
So I the drive from here to Lima is about 3 hours.
Right.
So I left out of here about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I figured that I'd swing by, I'd pick up my nephew on the way, and we'd just take a ride over there, hang out for the day, come back today, and see what's going on.
Sure.
So I get I'm en route to Lima. Mm-hmm. And Don calls me about noon.
Okay.
And I said, he's like, I said, so what's going on? I said, what time are you guys going on? He says, well, we got here last night. Okay. No one has contacted me. I have no set time. I have no sound check time. No one's bothered to contact me about anything. And I've called 2 or 3 different numbers and I can't get a hold of anybody. He said, he says, I think we go on at 5. I'm guessing, but I really don't know.
Right.
So he says, I'm going to send the guys over to the venue about 2:15 to kind of get a lay of the land, so to speak, get sound check in if there is one, get set up, get things, rolling. He said, then I'm going to come over about 4.
Okay.
He said, but since things are kind of disruptive, he says, I'm going to put you in charge. He said, so if you would go over to the venue with the guys, get everybody set up with dressing room or whatever accommodations they have. Let's get our passes, credentials, get all that stuff together. Then come by the hotel and come get me at 4.
Right.
So I got there at the hotel, rode over to drove behind the shuttle driver.
Okay.
And went into the venue, and we get there, get out of the van, and what they have are these little these little pop-up travel trailers.
Okay.
For individual dressing rooms for the different bands.
Now, is this thing like a camper type of a
deal? It's one of those pull behind trailers. It's not like a camper trailer, but it's a trailer. It's a 2-wheel trailer, that it's probably got enough room for 3 or 4 people at any one time.
So it's a half step above a horse trailer,
more or less. Yeah, it's just a little travel trailer.
Oh boy!
So they've got about 5 of these set up in the back, and each trailer has a sign on it as to whose band it is.
Okay, now before you go any further, did you ever at any point get in one of these things? What I want to know is, were these things air conditioned, or
Yeah,
were they
yeah.
a million degrees?
No, they were air conditioned.
Okay.
You know, they were fairly modern trailers. They're just not real big, you know.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's just something you'd pull with a pickup truck, you know.
Right.
So there's like five or six of these in a row, and each one is labeled as to whose band it's for.
Yeah.
Not one for Dokken. There's no trailer for Dokken.
They are the fucking Rodney Dangerfield of rock.
Yeah.
They just get no courtesies, no respect ever.
Yeah. So there's one for, you know, Last in Line, and there's one for Jack Russell's Great White, and there's one for Winger, and, you know, none for Dokken.
Now, did those bands play after Dokken?
They played, well, Deep played after Dokken, Steel Panther played after Dokken. Jack Russell played before. Winger played before.
But they had trailers and Dokken didn't.
That is correct. So I think the thinking there is that as soon as the band was done and, you know, off the stage and, you know, changed out and going back to the hotel, that they would make the trailer available for the next band.
Okay.
I think that's probably what they were thinking, but they just didn't have enough out there.
Right. Okay.
Now, fortunately, there's a couple. They're kind of like band managers. They've done work with Doc, and they have their own motor home. It's not a full size bus, but it is a motor home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they just happened to be there. They were parked back there too. So she was like, "Well, just use our bus. You know, you just come on there."
Okay.
So that's what we did. But up until for about 10 to 15 minutes, until we, you know, sorted it out and could find anybody who knew anything that was going on, we're out there in this sweltering heat, and, you know, Chris and John, they've got their guitars and their effects and their sound, and, you know, Mick's got his cymbals, and we're all just kind of standing around looking like dickheads, looking for a place to, you know, put our shit down. You know, and then we got the merch suitcases, and we got the backdrops, and I got my Don's, you know, wireless mics and all that shit. And we're just standing out in the middle of this field with nowhere to go.
What the hell?
So we get into, again, she says, "Hey, you know, once you just use our motor home, we'll just, you know, go ahead and use it."
Now, wait a minute. There were no, like, roadies or something to go take gear?
No, nobody knew anything.
Oh, boy.
You know, it was like, "Hey, where's the manager, promoter?" "Oh, I don't know. He's around here somewhere." It's like, well,
how far was this from the stage?
It was right behind the stage.
All right. So wow. Okay.
So we're like, well, where's the Dokken trailer? Dokken trailer?
Who?
Yeah, is there one for Dokken? Well, what? One of these trailers. If there's one for us? I don't know, dude. I'm just running sound. You know, I have no idea.
Oh no.
You know, and then here, well, ask him. You know, and then you go to the next guy and ask him. "Oh, well, I'm just running production." And next guy, "Well, yeah, well, just go find so and so." You know, nobody knows anything.
Right.
So we get settled into the motorhome, right? And then this, I guess he was kind of a go-between, kind of a, I don't know exactly what his position was. I guess he just went around making sure everybody had whatever they needed, and he popped on the bus, and he was just like, you know, "You guys all settled in? You need anything?" I said, "Well, yeah, I need credentials. I need some passes, some laminates, this and that." "Oh, well, I don't have them." I think his name was Josh. Josh, the promoter, has them. Okay. I said, "Well, where do I find this Josh?" "Oh, I'm sure he's around here somewhere."
Right.
And I said, "Do you have a way of getting a hold of him?"
No.
"Well, yeah, let me call on the cell phone." So he calls, and of course he can't get a hold of the guy, and leaves him a voicemail, and then texts him and this and that. And, "Oh, he's out there settling with Jack Russell, and he's doing this and he's doing that. He should be around here anytime."
Okay.
So at this point, Mick and John and Chris, we all went up to the stage because Mick is setting up his drums.
Okay.
And so my nephew gave him a hand with doing the drums, setting that up. Mm-hmm. And then the other guys were getting the set list together and trying to work with the production guy and know exactly where the vocal mics, how many vocal mics they need, and where the setup on the stage should be and everything. And the guy did a really good job. I got to admit, he was very quick. He sit there and took notes and did everything right and got it set up just the way it needed to be right off the bat.
Well, that's good.
So he was a very professional guy. Cool. But, it was kind of funny because Mick is setting up his drums and he literally had sweat dripping off the tip of his nose while he's out there screwing the cymbals in and setting up, arranging the drums where he wants it. And my nephew is trying to help him out there because my nephew plays drums.
Okay.
So he kind of knows the shtick and the drill. So he's helping Mick set up his drums and getting his cymbals and everything is lined up.
Right.
But it was hotter than shit out there.
So let me ask you this question. What mood are they in at this point? Are they in a good mood or are they in a fucky mood because they're getting treated like shit?
They who? The band?
Band.
Oh, yeah, they were fine. Everybody was fine.
So they were okay with getting treated like shit.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean,
that, but dude, I mean, it's just like being in a restaurant. You don't get fucking service. I mean, you don't usually get up and fucking throw a fit, but it doesn't put you in a good mood either.
Yeah, I agree. But no, everybody just was there to do their job and, get down to business and,
okay.
And so I'm constantly finding that concierge guy and say, well, any luck? Well, he's making his way back this way,
Right.
Well, about an hour later, finally the guy shows up, and he's got all the laminates with him and stuff. And I walked down and he saw me coming. He goes, "Oh, dude, it's my bad. It's my bad. It's all on me, man. I've been really, walk-ups have been just crazy. And I was out front and I was doing this and this is just crazy and it's my bad. And I hope you forgive me." And I said, "It's okay, man. Just give me the things. I got to run back to the hotel." Well, we got car service here and everything. I said, yeah, I know, but I need to go back to the hotel anyway, so, and it was literally not even a mile,
right.
Back to the hotel area. So I went back to my room and got, freshened up because I was sweating like a pig,
right.
And then I went and picked up Don and we went, so Don, he's like, we need to stop, at a liquor store and pick up some Jack and stuff because they didn't have anything. They didn't, I guess they didn't have a rider or whatever because they had like catering, but the catering was on the other side of the fairground. So so if they wanted anything, any ice or Cokes or, any kind of drinks or something, we had to get it.
Oh.
So I got him to the fairground and he was just like, "Oh, we forgot to stop." I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, just go in and settle down. I'll go get it.
Right.
No big deal. I'll just go get it.
Right.
So Lima, from what I understand, has 4 liquor stores in town.
Wow.
Total of 4.
Oh, it is a tiny. Never mind.
So they have 4 liquor stores. Right. So I had to go about, it was about 3 miles.
Okay.
I had to go. It wasn't that far, but still.
Just a pain in the ass.
And it was in a shitty part of town, too.
Well, that's all of Lima, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Right.
So I'm using Siri GPS to find me this liquor store, and I'm like, where the fuck is this, Wasn't even marked. They didn't even have a sign out front. It was just this building. Just this building in the middle of some other buildings on the street that was just like some old industrial area. And this guy, he says, he goes, "Are you looking for something?" I said, "Yeah." "Is there a liquor store around here?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm going up that way. Just follow me." And I was literally not even a quarter mile from it,
Okay.
And he turns into this parking lot, and I go, "Where the fuck is the store?" And there it was. It was just there, but there's no signage or nothing. It's like, how would anybody know that this is a liquor store?
Right.
So I go in there, and it's like one of the most bare bone liquor stores I've ever seen. It was like it was like a liquor store in the projects or something.
Right.
It had a cooler in there, an ice machine, or a where you can buy the bagged ice, and then all the liquor is lined up on a shelf behind a barricade.
Okay.
So you can't get it. You can't pick it out yourself.
Right.
You could go into like any CVS or anything and go pick it off the shelf and go up to the store, up to the cash register and buy it.
Right.
Well, everything is behind the counter. You can't get to it. You have to point it out. And I'll take one of those and one of those. So the guy was really friendly. The guy that was working the counter, he goes, so are you with that concert thing going on over at the fairgrounds? I said, yeah. I said, I'm heading over that way. He says, so who are you? Are you with like a band or something?
Right.
And I said, yeah. I said, I'm with Dokken. Dokken. Oh yeah, Dokken. I love those guys. He goes, man, I would love to go out there, but as you can see where I'm at. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is your livelihood, dude. You can't just take off on Friday to go stand in the sweltering heat at a fairground.
You're like, yeah, dude, you got to make that $43 you're going to make today.
Exactly. So as I was going into the store, this cracked out lady was coming out of the store.
Right.
And so I'm at the counter paying, and this lady comes back into the store, and she walks up and she says, I got all the way to my car, and I thought to myself, hey, that's probably somebody famous. So I had to get out of my car and come back in here and see who you are. So who are you?
Right.
I said, who do you want me to be? She goes, no, seriously, who are you? You're somebody, aren't you? I said, well, everybody's somebody. No, but you're like somebody. Who are you? And I said, I am nobody. Oh, you're full of shit. You're somebody. You just don't want to tell us. I'm just like, what the fuck, lady? She got out of her car and came back into the store just to see who I was.
That's funny.
She goes, well, you're definitely not from around here because you don't look like from anybody from around here.
And you were like, thank God.
Yeah, it's like, well, what do people from around here look like?
Right.
Apparently, they look like a cracked out whore.
Too funny.
I said, no, I'm nobody. Don't worry about it.
See, you got to start doing that, dude.
Yeah, I know, but it was just a weird deal, man.
You got to say, dude, I'm Dog.
Yeah, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
I'm here in Lima looking for a criminal. Have you seen, and just play it. Have you seen this guy? His name's Bob Jackson.
Exactly.
Just play it up and see what they do. They won't know. They'll be looking around for a fucking camera or something.
So dumb.
You got to start playing that up, dude, because everybody always asks you that. Like because you look sort of rock star-y.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, though.
Or just play be like some fucking offbeat band or something. Or just tell them the truth. Yeah, I'm the drummer from Steel Piston. And see what they say.
Yeah, I'll have to be a little quicker on my feet, I guess.
I mean, dude, how great would that be if yesterday you would have said, yeah, I'm the drummer from Steel Piston. Oh, I love you guys.
Yeah.
And she's never heard a single fucking note of Steel Piston.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Eh.
So the guy in the liquor store was real nice, and of course the lady, she's hassling me like, who are you? I know you got to be somebody. You got to be someone.
Is this her in the chat room?
Is this her in the chat room? Take a look. Yeah, that looked just like her. That looked just like you. Yeah, that's the look I saw. The look of the dead.
Had just hollow eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That lead to nothing behind them.
Right. But yeah, she had to come back to see who I was. Who are you, man?
Yeah, man. There's famous people in my town.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, that was the buzz, though, that, everywhere I went, even at the hotel and stuff, it's just like, who are you, man?
Hey, are you famous?
Yeah, are you famous? Can I get my picture? Even in the backstage area, the guys who were working the road crew and stuff, the backstage area.
Right.
Like I'd, maybe Mick or John or somebody, they'd be outside the bus and be, hey, man, can I get a picture? And so I'd be standing, no, dude, you got to get in here too. So I must have taken at least a dozen pictures yesterday.
Look at you, celebrity.
I know, but it's just like they want a picture, but they don't have any idea who you are.
Well, yeah, and that's why you got to lie to them. Because nothing's going to make me happier than when the friend of some listener to the show posts a picture up and says, here's me with Jack Russell from Great White, and it's a picture of you.
Right.
Nothing's going to make me happier than the day I see that on Facebook.
All right. Well, I'm gonna think a little quicker on my feet there, but to me, it's just bizarre.
Of course, but play with it. If they're dumb enough to ask a dumb question, give them a dumb answer.
Sure, I agree. It's just it's pathetic to me. That's the whole thing, I think.
Well, yeah, it's star fuckers.
Right.
It's just a bunch of star fuckers out there.
Yeah.
But that's why you should just play with it. Because eventually when they realize what a bunch of dummies they are, that they just took a picture with some other dude.
Yeah, just some guy.
Then they'll be like, oh, what an asshole I am. You know, and that's how they should feel. Anytime you're glomming for a photo with any other person, human being, you're kind of an asshole. And I'm as guilty of it as anybody. Because I take pictures with people every now and again too. But, you know, and then when I look at them later, I'm like, what a douche. What am I doing fucking begging Stephen Piercy for a fucking picture?
Right.
Really? You know, that's how I always feel. I'm happy in the moment, and then I'm like, look at this. Look at this. Am I really that excited to get my picture taken with the third base player from fucking Foghat?
Right.
Do I really need that in my collection?
Sure. So anyway, the Winger went on and they played, and I hung out and talked to Reb a little bit, and Kip. All the Winger guys were in the bus with us, and we were all just shooting the shit and talking about the event itself, and what we were all guesstimating what kind of money that this promoter put out for this, and what kind of a loss he was going to take.
Okay.
And I said, look here, and I pulled up the segment that we did. I think it's called "What is the cost of putting on a 2-day event" or something. I think we did this way back in March, if I'm not mistaken. And I said, see, we did a whole segment on this,
right? And
they were just like, well, what did you guys come up with? I said, well, we kind of guesstimated that he's probably got $500,000 just in talent pay alone.
Right.
And then, of course, and I said, on top of that is the venue and the security and all the other stuff that goes with it. So we were all kind of talking, Don and John and Reb and Kip, we were all talking, and we kind of guesstimated that this guy put up about $1.2 million.
Ooh. That's a little bit of cake.
Yeah. So that was our estimate with everything involved, everything, 1.2.
That's a bit much. Ouch.
Yeah. So then after Winger came off stage, Dokken was up next, and they just went out there and played, and they had a pretty good, response for, the people that were there.
Right.
Everybody seemed to enjoy themselves. The band sounded good. There weren't any production problems for a change.
Well, that's good.
And it was fun.
Don didn't punch out anybody's mom?
No, he didn't punch anybody's mom out.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. He, of course, he stopped and took pictures, and over near the fence line, one of our fans from Arkansas, of all places.
Okay.
Corey Davies came up from Arkansas
to Lima.
He went from Arkansas to Lima for this thing.
Oof, boy.
So I was taking Don's guitar off the stage, and I was heading back to the bus, and I hear Neeley, So I turn around, I see a couple of guys standing, along the fence line there. So I walked over, see what's up, and man, I'm a big fan of the show. I said, where'd you come from? Oh, I'm up from Arkansas. We came from Arkansas, and this is my son Dokken.
What?
Yeah, he named his son Dokken. Little guy. He's just out there, just looked like he was having a lot of fun. He says, yeah, I got to meet Don earlier and Mick, and, I got to meet, and I was hoping I'd get to see you, and,
Now, wait a minute. When you name your son Dokken, what leads to that? And you had to have asked that question.
I didn't really get into it. It was just like, I get the people who are just like really hardcore fans of their favorite bands.
My God. How did I not name my kids Dimebag and Vinnie Paul?
Well, you did name one Zach.
Yeah, one of the names. But Zach is like a common.
I know. I'm making a joke.
It's not Dokken. Oh my God. And here's my son Sabbath. Dokken.
Yeah.
Wow. So, did Don find out about young Dokken?
Yes, he met him.
Did he? Oh, he came over and met him?
Yes.
Did he keep a couple of feet between him and the dad?
No, he was as cordial as always. Just always cordial.
I really don't want to shit on the guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy, and I'm sure he's an Uber fan, but man, that's a bit brutal.
So I had Don's guitar with me.
Okay.
And he, he introduced me to his kid, and he's, hey, my kid Doc. And I said, well, I got Don's guitar right here. I said, let's take a picture of you touching Don's guitar.
Wow.
And that's the one I see showed up on the CMS Facebook.
Did you meet his daughter, Lynch Mabina?
So I saw a lot of Dokken love on the CMS Facebook with that little kid touching Don's guitar,
Mm-hmm.
So that was funny.
I guess, Mike. Just naming your kid Dokken. Oh man, you're putting a lot of faith that nobody in that band Dokken will do something stupid.
Right.
Can you imagine if you named your kid after like Great White?
Exactly.
And then the fucking fire.
Yeah, then they do Dokken cover Into the Fire.
And then forevermore, every time somebody sees your kid, they relate him to a fucking fire kid.
Yeah, something tragic.
Oh man, can you imagine if you named your kid OJ or something
right.
at some point? Which I'm sure people did.
I'm sure they have.
I'm sure there were quite a few Orenthal Jameses that fucking quickly tucked that away.
Sure.
Oof.
So I took a couple pictures over there at the fence line. So my nephew was with me.
Okay.
And while I'm standing there talking to Corey,
Yeah.
a couple other dudes come up to the fence line, right?
Okay.
So my nephew, he's kind of running interference for me, and the guy's like asking my nephew, you think Vince could take a picture with us too?
Vince?
Yeah. They thought I was Vince Neil.
Vince Neil?
Yeah.
Did you now what? What's wrong with your nephew? He should have said, sure. Vince, come on over here. He should have called you over as Vince.
Right. So then other people start yelling Vince. Vince. It's just like, are you guys? Well, it's obviously they're stoned. They're on crack. You guys on crack? Well, it is Lima after all.
Did you take any Vince pictures?
No, I didn't take any Vince pictures.
Come on, dude. You got to take that photo. You got to take that fucking... You got to not only take the photo, but you got to tell him, say, kickstart my heart.
Right, exactly. Sign an autograph, Vince Neil.
Yeah. Or just sign it with your own name, but sign it sloppy so that they can't tell the difference.
Sure.
Ugh. Vince Neil.
Vince Neil.
Holy shit.
So I got that several times yesterday. That was bizarre.
That is funny.
It's like, are you people so starstruck that, anybody that's got long hair or wears a black shirt, he must be famous.
And meanwhile, Vince isn't even there till tomorrow.
Yeah,
right?
Not till tomorrow, yeah.
So they thought he just came in to see the band?
Well, they probably, again, everybody is so unaware.
Right.
The thing is that because we do the show or we just have a mild interest in this kind of stuff, we kind of know what's doing where and who's doing what.
Sure.
But everybody's just like, oh, yeah, everybody's in town. It's like most people don't understand the workings of these type of things, that bands fly in, they do their gig, and then they get out.
Yeah. They don't
but they think they hang out and just rock out together and just, they're there for days at a time.
Right.
So it's like, no, I flew in, I did my gig, I'm out.
Dude, and to be honest, it's because they don't go to a lot of shows. Because even you have to admit, when you see the same band like 4 nights in a row, it's like, all right, that's enough.
Sure.
The most I've ever seen is I saw Metallica 4 nights in a row. And then I went a good probably 2 years without seeing them. Because I was like, I really don't want to see them anymore.
Right.
And I love Metallica, but come on, 4 nights in a row, that's about all I can stand.
Yeah. I'm looking at the CMS Facebook page.
Yeah.
See your buddy, your partner, Ed. Did you see his comment in there about the picture?
That was child abuse.
No, he said that he's going to name his next kid Keel.
Keel?
Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
We're doing. How you doing?
Doing great. Now, Chris, I got some bones to pick with you, bud.
All right.
Should I have named my kid Chris?
It's a common name. Yeah, you could have.
No, dude, really, in all seriousness, it was a joke with my wife. She was like, well, if we have a girl, we'll name it Sidley. Who the fuck wants their kid named Sidley?
Fiddly?
So,
no,
yeah,
Sidley.
Some stupid book.
All right.
So she said, well, if it's a boy, we'll name him Dockin.
So you carried out the joke?
No. It was something that just stuck.
All right. So is it a nickname or is it on his birth certificate?
No, that's his real name on his birth certificate.
So what was Don's reaction when he came over and, said hello to you and you introduced your son to him? What was his thoughts?
Well, I don't know that Don could really hear. My wife was over there. I was sitting watching Jack Russell. So he comes over and she hollered at him. He come over and she said he really didn't understand what I was saying.
Okay.
So, but after he figured out what it was, he was like, "Oh, that's cool." And Don really, he made my kid's day. I mean, we've seen him in Memphis. I've seen him all over, and he's been with us one time to Memphis and saw him. We were trying to get him to throw him up on stage, just to have fun.
All right, dude. You got to answer some questions, man.
Come on, brother. I'm here.
So why Dockin? Why not Warrior Soul?
Warrior Soul. I don't know. I always liked Dockin growing up, I guess. That was what everybody listened to when I was growing up.
Was it because you just got lucky that you were getting some pussy, or what? I mean, come on.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I mean, is that your favorite band?
Top 5.
All right. Who's your favorite? What are you going to name your daughter? Pantera?
No, Vixen.
Vixen.
Nice.
Nice one.
Now, are you still in Lima, or are you heading back, or where are you at?
I'm in Van Wert.
Oh, you're in Van Wert?
Yeah. Yeah. My cousin lives here. I'm actually from Van Wert. So, man, this is home.
Oh, I got
to say that, but this is home. I've been in Arkansas for 30 years.
So you came up for the show, or did you just happen to be here, or what's the deal?
We came up for the show.
Okay, so you didn't want to attend today?
No.
Okay, no.
We actually went to, and Chris he's gonna make fun of me. We went to the Rock Hall today.
Yes.
I know. And dude, it was fucking packed. I'm talking wall to wall packed.
Did you enjoy it?
Not so much. I had some cool shit in there, but there was 4 of us that went. It was $100. No.
What did you see that was? I'm always curious for people that don't live here. What did you see that you were like, holy shit, now I can die because I saw that?
Nothing.
Go ahead.
But they had Slash's hat, shoes, and the Beatles was probably the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, see, that was for me, seeing their suits.
Yeah.
They're tiny.
Very, very. Well, shit, look at Jack Russell.
Well, Jack's shrunk down.
He's hunched over. Yeah, he's hunched over 8 inches.
So good. So what was your takeaway from yesterday? What did you enjoy most about the event yesterday?
Dee Snider was really good. He's a hell of a performer.
He is. I agree.
Yes, he was good. Dokken was great. Like I told you, I've seen him 5 times, and that's the best I've heard Don sound.
Yeah, he sounded good yesterday.
Band's always tight. Everybody like you said earlier, the production value was awesome.
Yeah, it was. They did a really good job with that. I will agree.
Sound was great. At last, I was literally shocked with Last in Line.
They sounded good, right?
Dude, they were awesome.
They were. I agree.
They were probably the best that I've seen in a while. And like, we go see shows all the time. We're going to Guns N' Roses in 2 weeks in Little Rock. I mean, we come to Indianapolis to Black Sabbath in September last year. I mean, we've seen it. We see a lot of shows. We watch a lot.
Wow. And how did you find this show, and how long have you been listening?
At least 10 years.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Probably when I first started listening is when Little Mikey come on.
Okay. All right.
That's probably how long I've been listening. My wife says I listen too much.
That's too funny.
Gotta agree with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was searching on the internet one day looking for something to listen to at work, and that's what I found.
Sure. Now, being that we're not strictly music show, do you like the other stuff that we do?
Hell yeah, that's why I keep listening.
Okay, good, excellent. It's good to know. And
you guys dog on Eddie Trunk a lot, and I buy into that. I like him, I listen to him, but he is definitely I, me. Everything he does is I, me. I mean, I've listened to him for a long time also.
Yeah. Well, who's more entertaining?
Oh, you guys are. I will say you guys, just because of, and this is because of Chris, because Chris doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Chrisophile.
What?
Like, shit Rufo. Like Rufo, Neeley, I know you have some kind of compassion for the guy, but I want to give him a belt and tell him to just join in, do what everybody else is doing.
So good.
Too good.
But I just felt like I needed to call you guys and set that straight. I figured you'd hammer me pretty bad, but y'all been pretty nice.
All right, man. No, we're not good, dude. I just was more. There's an element of people, and you have to know this. There's an element of people that would name their kids after famous people that end up fucking shooting famous people. So
you're right. You're totally right.
You know, there's that element out there. Even you have to admit that is, you put that stigma on yourself by naming your kid Dokken.
Oh yeah, I hope he's not fucked up when he grows up. Because he loves our music. Right. Alice Cooper's probably his biggest person to him, and he went and saw Alice Cooper, and dude loved it.
Is that your daughter's name?
No, don't have a daughter
yet.
Not that you know of.
No.
If you have a daughter, if you knock your chick up again and you have a daughter, is Alice Cooper a consideration?
Dude, it could be. It could be.
Alice Cooper Davies.
That's right.
So good. Well, it was nice meeting you yesterday, dude. I appreciate the kind words and letting me meet your son and all that good stuff.
Man, it was great meeting you too. I had a good time. I really did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed shooting shit.
Excellent. All right, man. Anything else?
No, I'm going to get off here before y'all kick me off. Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. And
There goes a fan.
Chrysophile, too.
Chrysophile.
You know I like the Chrysophiles.
Of course. It's all about you, man.
Yeah, man.
Just use this vehicle for yourself, Chris. Just use this vehicle.
I need to put out about 15 more books, quick.
Right.
Before people realize what a dick I am.
Exactly. So there you are. I'm out there meeting and greeting and glad handing with the fans, and you get all the accolades.
As it should be.
Yeah.
You do the work, I'll make the money.
Sure. I had to laugh about some of the comments, though, from that photo, that kid, touching that guitar.
Sure.
I like the one, Eric Reed.
What'd he say?
Neeley then asked the kid if he had an older sister.
Did you see the picture in the chat room of you as Vince?
Oh, I didn't see that. Let me take a look here. Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, my head is about 100 sizes too big.
Well, in that era, that was okay.
Yeah. That's too funny. Nathan, you got to scale that head down a little bit.
He hasn't quite figured that part out yet.
Yeah, scale it down.
Yeah, come on, man.
So, anyway, getting back to the story.
Sure.
So, after Dokken played, they said, well, there's full catering over there at the catering building. They got this nice air conditioned building. They got
right.
They got prime rib over there. They've got like fish, and they had some pretty good food. I'll give them that. They did real good with the catering.
Right.
So, but like I said, it was all the way across on the other side of the fairgrounds. So right. they sent golf carts to cart us all over there.
Oh boy!
So we're taking these golf carts across this back side of the fairgrounds to this building, and we go in there, and who should be in there is Ralph and Steel Panther.
Oh, look at that! The whole band, or just Ralph?
No, the whole band.
Oh, that's cool.
They were in there catering, and it was full bar, full drink service, full food service, whatever it is that you wanted. They had it all there.
Now, were they in or out of uniform?
Well, they had partial uniform on.
Okay.
Partial. Ralph was dressed in his stage clothes and everything, and then right. Lexi, he was getting his hair all, poofed up.
Combed on the mannequin head.
Yeah, and isn't
that weird to see him without the hair?
Yeah, well, the same way with Russ. Russ Parrish has got, super short hair.
Does it? I've not seen him without it.
Yeah, and he's kind of all gray.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he didn't have his wig on, but of course Ralph is all natural hair.
Right, sure.
And I walk in and I walk out, hey, dude, how you been? And he was just like, man, it's been a long time.
Nice.
So we sat down at the table and we sit and had some dinner together, and he was sitting and Dawn was asking him about the whole, tribute act thing, and how is it that, that they get a higher billing than the real acts who came up with, the songs that they covered a lot, before
right.
they started writing a lot of their own material.
Right.
Be it Winger or Dokken or Twisted Sister or any of those guys.
Sure. That
they're headlining over them. And they were just kind of discussing business and whatnot. And, right. I caught up with Ralph for a while. We were just kind of shooting the shit, because I think the last time I actually saw Ralph face to face is, I think it was like about 2008.
Wow.
That I was out in Hollywood, and I got Nader, because Nader had put London back together.
Right.
And he was trying to get, his feet back under him. And I called up Ralph because Steel Panther was headlining or doing a Monday night or a Tuesday night gig at the Key Club.
Sure.
And I got him on the bill.
Right, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so I flew out for that, and I think that's the last time I saw Ralph face to face.
Jesus, that's a weird one that I've even seen Ralph since then.
Yeah, you've been to Rock on the Range.
Yeah, and I've seen him since then.
That's true. Well, your friend Ed, he's a big fan, though.
Yeah, so I saw him at a couple of meet and greets, one
sure.
in Cleveland and one in Pittsburgh.
Right. And I talked to Russ, and I told him yeah. I said you ran into my partner Chris. He goes, yeah. He goes, where'd I see him? He said it was in Columbus or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I said, yeah. He says he knocked out a quick interview with you or something, and he was just like, yeah. He goes, yeah, I know you guys.
Yeah. Okay, sure you do. Should have given him a shirt so he could throw it in the trash. Oh no, that's the wrong guy.
Right. So I was talking to Ralph, and I said, we've played and promoted your new disc. I said, but we seem to not be able to have any connection with, bringing you on the show.
Yeah.
And he goes, dude, he says, you've had my phone number for years. Just call me direct. He said, don't worry about going through the publicist. He says, just call me.
I love those relationships.
He says, you don't have to go through official channels. He says, how long have we known each other? He says, well, we've been like friends since like 98, right? I said, yeah, it's almost been 20 years. He says, you should just call me. I'm just like, all right. I said, I didn't want to jump ahead. I said, I didn't want to be presumptuous like that. He goes, no, it's cool, dude. I know you.
Well, but you know how it is. Some guys will get annoyed.
Yeah, sure.
When you do that. There's a lot of them, actually. I mean, between me and you, we have, 200 or 300 phone numbers of these guys.
Right.
And we never do that.
No, of course not.
I mean, we might with Don.
And Steven.
He's a personal friend. And Steven. But that's really about it.
Yeah.
And you see how well it worked tonight.
Yeah, well, you try to be respectful and, do the right thing and not try to hassle these guys, but whatever.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, he goes, dude, I'll be glad to come on. Just call me.
Well, that'll work. Cool.
So anyway, that was fun. So we went back to the motor home after that, and it was kind of getting late, and they had, and now here's the fucked up thing. They were doing a 2-day run. Mm-hmm. So they were in Lima of all places, which Lima really isn't close to anything.
Right.
I mean, as far as airports and things, so either you have to go to like Dayton or Columbus or Detroit or Fort Wayne to catch a flight, and any one of those are an hour plus drive.
Sure.
To get there. Mm-hmm. So they were booked out of Detroit because they're playing at a place called Mulcahy's in New York tonight.
Right.
So they had to catch their plane at, I think their plane took off at like 7:30 this morning, so they had to leave the hotel at 5.
Wow.
And that's the other thing. We get back to the hotel, and the question is how are we going to get to the airport?
Oh, because now they've left, so the promoters...
Well, no, they didn't know, and I said, well, I've got the promoters' limo service numbers because Don had sent me all the contact info. Mm-hmm. And so I called the limo service, and I said, hey, this is Wendell with DACA, and I said we need a ride to the airport at 4:45, mm-hmm. Just to give them a 15-minute window.
Right.
And it goes, well, what time's the plane, what airline, blah blah blah.
Right.
And they said, okay, we'll be there at 4:45.
All right.
So I got that all hooked up, and Chris McCarville, he's just like, dude, you were just like so awesome. It's like, what? I made a fucking phone call? Yeah, but it's like, what? It's like, you guys could do this.
See, the guys in Dockin, Neeley phobes.
Yeah, that's apparently the case. So I got that set up. Now, they had a suitcase with all their T-shirts and stuff, all their merch.
Okay.
And then they had a suitcase that had the backdrop and Don's wireless mics and all that shit.
Sure.
And so Chris, because, the guys had been having a couple cocktails after the show.
You're kidding.
Yeah. So Chris took the merch case back to his room.
Okay.
And Don and I and my nephew went back to Don's room, and we had the backdrop case with Don's mic and everything. He was showing me his new mic.
Okay.
And we went back to our hotel and crashed out for the night. Right. So my text is starting to go off at 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And I wake up, I was like, who the fuck's texting me at 4:30 in the morning? So I look, and it's Chris, and he's like, good morning, sir. I'll actually read you the text.
All right.
Because he was a little loopy when we got back to the hotel.
What time did you guys get back to the hotel?
It was only like probably 11 o'clock.
So you guys hung out at the venue after they played for like 4 hours?
Well, they went on at 6. The Dockin went on at 6.
So they were probably done at 7.
They
right?
were done at 7. Then we went to catering, and we had dinner till 8:30.
Okay.
And then we got back to the bus, and it was so we hung out about an hour and a half.
Anybody banging some pigs?
No, nothing like that. So my text goes off, and it's, "Good morning, sir. Any chance do you have Don's suitcase with the backdrop and his microphones?" 4:30 in the morning.
Oops.
And I told him, I said, there were only 2 cases. I said, you have the one with the merch. Don took the other one to the room.
Okay.
So he texts me back, "Everything's here. Thanks. Sorry to bother you so early." And he goes, "Now get out of M3." Because we were talking about that one segment that Chris was throwing people out.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yep,
I asked him if he heard that, and I said, "Did you hear that segment we did where you were on the phone with Chris and you were throwing people out of M3?" He said, "No." He said, "Yeah, I did listen back to that. That was actually pretty funny."
By the way, let me give you a quick update before you continue your story.
Okay.
This just in 6 minutes ago.
Yes.
From a tweet received from Eddie Trunk. "Lima, Ohio, thank you. Had a great time hosting the first ever Loud in Lima. Appreciate all the love and support for what I do. Hope to be back soon." So Ed must have been there today.
Oh, Eddie was there?
Yeah, well, he said thank you, Lima.
Okay, all right.
6 minutes ago.
So he was in and out in one day?
Yeah, apparently.
Why bring him out at all?
And he probably he just sent this tweet 6 minutes ago. So he probably stayed just to intro whoever the headliner is tonight, Bret Michaels, and fuck you, I'm out of here.
Bret Michaels. Ugh.
He's tweeting from the car on the way home.
Oh, great.
From the hotel.
Great.
It's like, fuck you, pal. I'm getting out of this fucking shithole.
No shit. I just introduced Guns N' Roses. Now I'm at a fairgrounds. What, are you kidding me?
I'm introducing Bret Michaels. Not even Poison. This fucking sorry-ass Bret.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah. All right. Well, good for Ed. Good on Ed.
So there you go. Ed was there today.
All right. So he did make it out.
Yep.
Okay. Fair enough. So anyway, right when I woke up with the tweet going, or the text going off, out in the distance, man, all I could hear was thunder and lightning and stuff. And man, it came in like a torrential downpour.
Yeah, it hit pretty hard here too.
And I was thinking, holy shit, that field out there at that fairgrounds is going to be just a big muck hole.
Ugh. Ugh. And hot and steamy. Oh.
Yeah.
I had to suck a bunch of dick today.
No shit. So even though it was hot and, kind of miserable yesterday, at least it wasn't today.
Right. Ooh. Nathan from Kentucky, Kiefer canceled tonight.
Well, yeah, because he had voice problems.
So you got an extra long segment of Bret.
Yeah. No, Kiefer canceled here, last week?
Yeah.
Because he got a strained vocal cord or something.
Right.
So his doctor put him on vocal rest for at least 2 weeks.
That's no fun.
Yeah. But, maybe it just came at the right time.
At least you got Bret Michaels.
Lucky us, man.
What a downer.
Yeah. Bret sucks.
Because they probably didn't announce it either and wait all day through the fucking day, and then finally it's time for oh, he's not on stage.
Right.
It's fucking Bret Michaels.
Sure.
Doing an acoustic every rose. Ugh. Horrible.
Yep.
So you got them off to the airport? Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah, I did. Well, they left at they left at 5:00 this morning. Right. And as far as I know, they made it just fine.
Yeah, I saw pictures of. I'm going to assume it's the guy that you tried to hook up with Chris and John backstage.
Oh, okay. So things worked out in New York.
That's what it looks like.
All right.
Saw a few pictures. So, dude, this fucking social media, for as much as we both kind of hate it,
Sure.
it's pretty fun to actually be able to keep up in like real time with shit.
Right.
But
So,
yeah,
so he got to hook up with Dockin over there in New York.
yeah, I saw some pictures.
All right, good.
So I guess you probably made another Neeley phobe.
I did. I made that happen too.
I'm gonna have to get back to work. Can't be having you keeping up with me here.
Sure. Well, one of our hardcore fans, he had emailed us earlier in the week, Richard Hayden.
Yeah.
And he was just like, Dawkins playing over here in New York, and, they've been my favorite band forever, and I just, I would do anything if I could just meet the guy and say hello and show him my tattoo and all this other stuff. Is there any way you can make that happen?
Right.
So I told Don about it, and John's like, yeah, just throw him on my guest list. Just tell him, I'll throw him on the guest list.
Well, that's cool.
And we'll make that happen.
Well, apparently it did.
Good, because he did text us or send us a message through his iPhone. All it said is, I fucking love you guys. That's all it said, so I'm just going to assume that happened.
Yeah, I saw pictures. Now I can't find them to save my life, but it clearly was that guy because he was with the Dockin guys tonight.
Sure.
And he was wearing a CMS shirt.
Oh, nice.
So it's definitely him.
All right. Okay. Well, look at us. We're making dreams come true.
Well, you are. I don't want to make any of their dreams come true because then they'll stop listening.
Right.
So you're actually hurting the show.
We're hurting the brand because we're too nice.
Yeah, stop it, dude.
Stop being so nice, man.
Did you hear what that guy said? Why he likes me? Because I don't give a fuck.
That's right.
So you got to start not giving a fuck.
You say stuff that that other people won't say.
Yeah, man. I'm a rebel.
Exactly, you are. Absolutely. All right. Well, that's pretty much wraps up the day's events. I mean, it was even though there wasn't a big turnout, I will say that they did a good job on the production. Yeah. And it seemed to go off without a hitch. There didn't seem to be any technical difficulties that I was aware of.
So who ends up in a better position by the end of the year? This promoter or Justin Murr?
Ooh, wow. I don't know enough about Justin's situation. Just it's all rumor.
Right.
At this point, I have no facts.
Sure.
But as far as I know, I'm going to say that Justin, because Justin's overall output isn't 1.2.
Yeah. Okay.
And plus, Justin's had 5 years of rockin' skulls, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this guy here, the guy today, I think that's a one and done deal.
Okay. I hope you're right. The whole thing with Justin is I hope that some of it is, I don't know, is rumor. Because we like that guy. I do. I have no problem with Justin, and I know you do too. I mean, we don't have a problem with Justin, but every day it's like something else pops up. I'm like, oh, please let this thing happen.
Right.
Don't want to see this thing. I do not. You know what my big fear is with that festival, and I'm praying that it doesn't happen, but it ends up like that one. What was that one where in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah, where the guy was hoping that the walk-ups was going to make up the difference,
and like one band played and then they canceled.
Yeah, it was Firehouse.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it doesn't turn into that.
Right. Where Firehouse played the song, or they played their set, and then they pulled the plug on everything else.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Yeah. We don't have enough money to pay everybody, so everybody's going home.
I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
Just like I hope they had a huge turnout today in Lima. I'm not thinking they did.
Well, Eddie Trunk was there. I'm sure it probably made things happen.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many people you think were like on the fence? maybe I'll go, maybe I won't go. But then when they heard Eddie Trunk was going to be there, then they bought.
Yeah, they bought. I would guarantee that 98% of the people who were out there probably did that.
I'd be serious. How many do you think, realistically, let's say 5,000 people went out there today.
Okay.
Do you think 50 potentially bought because Ed was added to the bill?
I would say absolutely not.
Do you think 20?
No, I don't think one person.
You don't think one?
No, I don't think one person changed their mind predicated on whether Eddie Trunk was there or not.
I think probably a few.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's TV.
Yeah, I know, but what did he bring to the table except, hey, here's Bret Michaels. Thanks for having me.
Dude, it's the same thing as any of these other fucking things. You know, look, fucking lady wants to fucking suck your dick right outside the liquor store because she thinks you might be famous. Doesn't even know who you are.
That's true, but no, then again, she might have expected the little kickback to buy some additional crack.
Okay, but you know, there's a price for everything.
Right.
But what I'm saying is if they're willing to do that, not even knowing who you are.
Correct.
I'm thinking it's some people that were like kind of, well, I sort of like Bret Michaels and, you know, Tom Kiefer's cool. And, you know, I liked a couple Motley songs. I'm not sure, $120. Oh, look, that guy from TV is going to be on there too.
That guy from TV.
I'm telling you, there's probably a few. Not a ton. I'm certainly not saying even 5%.
Right.
But I'm thinking a few probably do.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Lima.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, we got big stars coming here.
Yeah. I mean, if it's in Lima, I mean, that's a face that they might recognize. I mean, fuck, they recognized Vince Neil on your face.
Yeah, they thought it was me.
Yeah. So, Eddie Trunk? I don't know, dude. I have to think that for some reason promoters believe that.
Well, again, I think what promoters are hoping is that Eddie would talk about it on his show.
But he doesn't really have a history of that, does he?
No, he doesn't, but I think that's the whole idea. It's just like, well, if I could get Eddie Trunk to talk about this event on his national show, that somebody might take an interest.
See, here's where I'm not going to agree with you. Because these guys that are signing these fucking contracts for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, you're going to tell me that they're not going to get that as a stipulation in an Eddie Trunk contract?
Well, again, I don't know what the contract says, but I think the whole idea is that they're hoping that Eddie would say, hey, I'm going to be out at Loud and Lima on Saturday. You know, come on out, be a part of the thing, whatever.
You like what, Applebee's or Chili's?
I like Chili's better.
Okay, when you go to Chili's, do you hope to get a hamburger or do you get a fucking hamburger?
No, I get a hamburger if that's what I'm after.
Oh, that's the same thing with Eddie. He's a hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
Either hope that you're going to get one and pay for it, or you can get one when you pay for it.
Well, I could see what the title of this segment's going to be. Eddie Trunk is a hamburger.
And it'll probably get more downloads than anything this week.
Exactly. But I like the fact that the fans like our goofing, though.
Yeah.
I listen to you because you goof on Eddie. Now, I listen to Eddie. I like him. But when I hear you guys, I'm like, yeah, you guys are right.
Yeah. He did a really, not to go on an Eddie Trunk promotional tour here,
sure.
But he did a really fucking good interview this week, if people want to check it out, with that guy that we have to get on the show, that Monk guy, the Van Halen.
Oh, yeah. We talked about his book, right.
Yeah, he did a fucking quality interview with that cat.
Okay.
Just on his podcast, which is free, so go find it.
All right.
Definitely a good interview. We got to get that guy.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to that guy.
Yeah, so anyway.
All right, well, I think we need a short break.
Yeah, I need a drink of something.
A drink of something?
Yeah, it's fucking 8 million degrees here in the office.
You don't even have the door open or anything?
Nah, I'm just winging it with the heat.
Oh, okay.
See how I'm doing at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll be like, oh, yeah, man. You know, I'll be dying.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Well, I saw Last in Line yesterday for the first time, and I thought they did a really good job.
Cool.
Did a good job on the DO material, and Anyway, I did get to see Vinny Appice for a while. Just a few minutes. Got to chit-chat with him.
That's cool.
I haven't seen him since the Heaven and Hell tour.
How's he doing?
He seemed to be doing well.
That's cool.
Doing okay.
That guy is always in a project, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But he's got to work.
Yeah, he's got to work. But, I mean, he always finds a project. He's never one that's like in some fucking local band playing covers in Arizona or something.
No, that's true.
He's always in some working not big, but national touring act.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for him.
Yeah, and they did a great job yesterday. So, since their project is called Last in Line, I thought I'd play a song from the Last in Line release.
All right.
And I thought I'd play some Egypt. The Chains Are On.
Good tune.
So here's Dio exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Hi, I'm Ronnie James Dio, and you're listening to the Classic Metal Show with Neeley.